Who is going to be the Chapter 32.5 licensed survivor? Could it be Daryl or Rick from The Walking Dead? 11? Sydney Prescott? Or maybe even the gaming icon Lara Croft? Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be diving into the exciting world of Dead by Daylight leaks to speculate on who the next survivors might be for Chapter 32.5. Specifically, we're looking at some of the compelling candidates and the evidence backing them up. But before we jump into that, let's set some guidelines for what makes a suitable survivor for this next chapter. First off, the survivor should truly embody the word survivor, because Behavior had described the survivor as someone who truly embodies that word, as you can see here.
We're going to follow that with a licensed survivor, a character who truly embodies the meaning of that word. Secondly,
it's preferable that they don't come with a strong killer pairing, since this chapter is focused solely on survivors, just like Alan Wake, Ash, and Nick Cage. It is also preferable that the license holders are known or okay with giving their licenses out to other companies. And lastly, there is a higher chance that a license will be added to DBD if there's an opportunity for cross-promotion, as we've seen many times. With that said, let's dive into the evidence. Now, let's start with the most interesting pick, Lara Croft. According to the notorious leaker Gumpy887, or Gumpy for short, Lara Croft might be making her way into Dead by Daylight. While we can't verify the exact comment now, because someone could have faked it, if it is true, Gumpy has a very solid track record with his previous leaks that accurately leaked Castlevania, D&D, Alan Wake, and even the original chapter All Things Wicked. So it's safe to say he's a very reliable leaker. Lara's recent trilogy of games is aptly titled the Survivor Trilogy, underscoring her resilience and survival skills, which align perfectly with the rest of DBD's Survivor roster. There were hints last year about more Lara Croft collaborations in 2024, which also perfectly aligns with DBD's recent non-horror licenses, like Vecna from Dungeons & Dragons and Dracula from Castlevania. And to top it off, Lara Croft was mentioned in DBD's satisfaction survey, indicating she's at least under consideration at Behavior. Moving on to another strong contender, The Walking Dead. Gumpy also hinted at a Walking Dead chapter is currently in the works, but it's unfortunately on hold because they need to find a good time to release it. So, it's likely not going to be released imminently, and likely later down the road. Again, we do not know whether Gumpy's leaks are actually true or not, so again, take this all with a grain of salt. Currently, there's also not any new Walking Dead shows airing, but the upcoming release of the Book of Carol later this year could spark renewed interest. The franchise is no stranger to crossovers, having recently collaborated with Call of Duty and other previous collaborations like Fortnite, PUBG, Rogue Company, and Brawlhalla, among others. But what sets The Walking Dead survivors apart is their prolonged struggle against the undead. This aligns perfectly with Behavior's description of this chapter. But due to recent rumors, they likely won't be releasing this year. But for next year, they're going to be very strong contenders. And if you'd like to see what The Walking Dead in Dead by Daylight could look like, up here in the corner was a previous video I made on just that, so make sure to check it out if you're interested. Now, let's talk about fan favorite Sydney Prescott. Infamously known as one of the iconic final girls of horror, Sydney's return in Scream 7 adds weight to her potential inclusion in DBD. Her character has not only survived multiple encounters with killers, but has also become a symbol of resilience in the horror genre. While it's early for direct promotion, rumors of Neve Campbell being involved with Scream 7 again, as well as other Scream crossovers like Ghostface being leaked for Mortal Kombat, suggest ongoing interests in expanding her presence beyond traditional horror platforms. And, because we already have Fun World's Ghostface, she's a perfect solo survivor candidate. And lastly, we have 11 from Stranger Things, of course. While there's been previous collaborations between Netflix and Behavior for Stranger Things content in DBD, 11 remains a wildcard pick due to her not necessarily being the embodiment of Survivor. Don't get me wrong, she has faced many monsters across the show, but I'm not sure if she's deserving enough to fit that title yet. The other challenge here is a strong association with a potential killer like Vecna. Not that Vecna. That Vecna. Which might better suit a full chapter release where both the survivor and killer can be fully realized. So, sorry 11 fans, she likely isn't coming anytime soon. But if you guys would like to see my take on a Stranger Things Chapter 2, you can see my take on that chapter up here in the corner if you're interested. So, after considering all the evidence, here's how I'd rank the potential survivors for Chapter 32.5. Lastly, in 4th place, we have 11. While not impossible, the killer pairing issue, as well as her not necessarily being the embodiment of survivor, makes her a much less likely candidate than the rest. Taking 3rd place is Sydney Prescott. There's solid evidence here, but the timing might push her inclusion further down the line as Scream 7 develops, because so far it hasn't even been announced, so it's going to be a while. We should keep our eyes out for the future instead. 2nd place goes to the Walking Dead survivors. Gumpy's leaks are promising, but caution is advised until official confirmation. But if Gumpy's leaks are proven false, then I could definitely see Daryl Dixon or even Rick Grimes being added as a solo survivor, and then the other could join Michonne for a full chapter later down the line. But as of now, with Gumpy's leaks being assumed correct, I don't think this is their time. And in 1st place is Lara Croft. Her thematic fit to the other licenses added this year, a recent game trilogy, and the linked information make her the most plausible choice for the upcoming survivor. And that wraps up our speculation on who might be the next survivor for Chapter 32.5 of Dead by Daylight. Which survivor are you most excited to see? And do you think that Gumpy's leaks are real, or has someone faked it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and maybe even become a member of the channel today for exclusive benefits. But until next time, I'll see you all in the fog. A special thanks to my members Joe Dub and Crash Test Sim Racing for supporting my channel.